That's perfect. Hey, everybody, welcome into the 815 Sports Podcast. Jake and I here. Another week, our NFL Week 8 picks. This week, we bring in profound car salesman, Christian Miller, huge car guy. Christian, anything you want to say before we get into our picks?
Just thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
The circumstances on my team this week sucked, but
if you need a car, he's your guy.
That is true.
Me and Jake should both get $100 if you get any sales after this
fine.
video.
That's fine. We can do that.
So Thursday Night Football, we got the Rams at home against Minnesota. I don't know if you guys have been following Twitter at all today, but Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford are two guys who have been brought up a lot in trade conversations. It says that the Chiefs are very interested in bringing in Kupp, and the Vikings are very interested in bringing in Stafford, which nothing against Darnold. Like, he's played pretty good ball all year, but I mean, if they bring in Stafford to what that team is, I think that's a great addition.
A team that's 5-1. I just don't know.
I think it's a real kick in the face to Darnold.
I kind of agree.
He's been an underdog his whole life.
They
career.
They could be 6-0.
Yeah. They lost by a point.
They lost
right?
by a field goal, right?
Yeah.
1 point.
So
It's
how
a kick
much
in the
better?
face
How
if they
much
bring
better
him
do
in.
you get? How much better do you get?
I think Stafford
So you
brings
think
a lot to the table.
The ceiling's higher with Stafford?
Oh yeah,
Probably.
and he's won the Super Bowl. I mean, he's got the experience. You can't argue with me that he's more talented than Darnold.
I think he's more talented.
I don't know. I
More
like
experience.
Darnold. I like watching Darnold.
Yeah. Really quick here, I'll hop into the comments. We got a bear down comment there. Sean Bundy says, "What's up, Christian?" Basically, Mitch, what's up? Go Broncos!
What's up, Mitchell?
God bless Bo Nix. Sorry to hear about your receivers. Yeah, that was kind of devastating. The Bucs are my third favorite team because I love Baker.
Yeah.
But as we jump into this game, I like Minnesota at home. The spread's only 3.
It's
I would
in
take
LA.
the spread. Oh, I'm sorry, on the road. But I would take Minnesota and the spread here. They looked really good against Detroit, even though they lost.
I feel like 3's not
Very
that
low.
low.
Very
Yeah.
low.
Yeah, and I mean, the Rams, Vegas really had a shot to win that game.
I'm taking the Vikings as well. I think they get back on track and get back to 6-1.
Yep.
If you're the Vikings, you can't lose this game, especially in the NFC North.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every game's going to matter in that division. Can't drop one to the Rams if you want to win the division.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Every team in the NFC North, this was last week, but every team in the NFC North had above a plus 40 point differential. Christian, who you got in this game?
I got Minnesota. I think they're going to win by probably double digits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
don't-
game could get ugly.
Especially with the trade rumors, you never know who
There you
could
go,
be.
Gotch.
You never know who could be playing this week. I think at least 15 points. I think they're going to blow them out.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I would hammer the -3.
absolutely. Yep.
I'm not good for betting advice, though.
Well, we got another
Yeah, no
shitty
kidding.
game here.
Ravens on the road against Cleveland. Baltimore favored by 9. Cleveland obviously just lost Watson for the season, torn Achilles. You say what you want about Watson, but it not really a good look by the fans to boo their starting quarterback
don't
after
wanna see-
somebody get hurt like that.
You don't want to see injury on anybody, and I don't know if the fans were booing. There were probably a few, but I don't find it hard to believe that the whole stadium was booing.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It was pretty loud though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were, but
Not a good look.
Mitch Vickers with the hot take. He says Browns win this week. He's got faith in Bailey Zappi and Jameis Winston back there.
I think this might be the blowout of the week.
Yeah.
Cleveland's in. I don't even know what you would. They're a toilet bowl. I mean, their season is just.
They have yet to score 20 points this year.
They had expectations, and then they kind of didn't, and now they absolutely have none. I mean, now they're tanking. So
Yeah,
they've
probably
gone.
on the first pick.
They've gone from thinking they could possibly compete with the division with everything they had,
Mhm.
and now I don't even think they finished close to 500.
Yeah. I'm going to take Baltimore in this one. I like I said, I think they're playing outstanding right now. Really, they dominated the Bucs last night. I know there was those injuries, but then you also take a look at the fact Lamar's playing amazing. Derrick Henry's 30 years old, and he's number 1 in every rushing category in the NFL. And he had the 81-yard run. He busted off last night, almost hit 22
he's incredible.
miles an hour. Yeah, he's a stud. I mean, how about Tennessee losing Derrick Henry? You know what I mean? They kind of lost him. They just let him go, and then they traded away A.J. Brown. I mean, those are just two
It was a rebuilding
absolute
for
studs. But yeah, I think Baltimore's going to hammer Cleveland.
Yeah, I think I would take the -9 for sure. both these spreads. First 2 games, I'd take them.
I think it could be similar to last night where the Rams put up 45 points.
Oh, yeah.
The Browns just lost Amari Cooper as well. They could lose Myles Garrett by Sunday. I think the Ravens will probably win by 20 plus.
Yeah.
Cleveland's just in
Cleveland's going to
disarray.
be trading a lot of guys.
I mean, the Guardians just lost, and now the Browns look to be very feeble.
They're terrible.
Who knows how good the Cavaliers are going to be?
Hopefully not good.
Up next, we got the Titans at Detroit. Look at this spread, -11.
Great game. I mean, what the fuck?
-11. Detroit looked phenomenal. I picked Detroit last week to beat Minnesota on the road. Jamar Gibbs, absolute lightning bolt out of the backfield. So even when Montgomery gets kind of banged up like he did, you got Gibbs to turn to. They're not going to have Jameson Williams in this game because he's out for 2 games for performance-enhancing substances. I guess he didn't really do shit last game, but they must have drug tested him.
Yeah.
But I got Detroit in this one. Dan Campbell is a hell of a coach. I think he's a top 5 coach in the NFL. He gets those guys fired up. I think they're going to fucking demolish Tennessee.
Are they the best team in the NFC?
I would say they're the best team in the NFC.
Right now.
Let's not forget who their one loss was to.
That's true. And it was in Detroit.
Yeah, that was a big win.
That was huge.
I think Detroit, takes this game. Maybe the first quarter is somewhat close, but Detroit's just too good. They'll be too much by halftime. All these 3 games will probably be a game that you don't need to tune back into until the end to see what the final score is.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah, there's a lot of ugly games on Sunday, especially in the early slate. Christian, you got them too?
I got Detroit. I think Jake's right. I think they're probably the best all-around team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
Jared Goff is doing unbelievable things, and the running backs are very strong, and they got a big team. They got a good team.
Dan Campbell, like Cole said, is one of my favorite coaches in the league.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch on the side.
The guy cares. He gets upset when things happen. He's not a mope like Mike McDaniel on the sidelines. He's not laughing when fucking shit's going south. He's pissed. I like Dan Campbell, and I wish the Dolphins would have seen what he's doing now in 2015 when he was the interim head coach.
Yeah.
And he did good when he was the interim head coach. Yeah. He was the same guy, and they just let him go.
And even after Hutchinson went down, it didn't even look like – I don't want to say that they missed a beat, but they still look like the same old Detroit, just dominant out there.
Yeah, Detroit's scary. If they get the 1 seed and you got to go through Detroit, that's going to be a tough place to play.
Yeah. Especially in Detroit, yeah.
Yeah.
Those
fans,
they're on top of you.
Let's see what we got in the comment section. Ramon says fins up. Speaking of the Fins.
Go Dolphins.
Speaking of the Fins, we're going to hop into this game here. We got Arizona at Miami. Tua's supposed to make his comeback. Dolphins favored by 3. Jake, who you got?
I'm going to take the Dolphins. And last week I took the Colts, so no, I'm not a homer. But Tua's back. They're kind of getting more healthy. Like, A-Chain's back now. Teron Armstead played last week. He's going to play this week. Waddle, Hill, tight end. I can't. Jonnu Smith had a very good game. In Indianapolis.
What about Holland?
Javon Holland.
What's his status?
I think
did he play last week?
I don't remember.
You probably want to forget that game, don't you?
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, they've been very hard to watch. The Miami Dolphins have been very hard to watch since Tua has gone down. They can't move the ball. They really can't do anything. They started running a little better versus Indianapolis. That's probably because Indianapolis' run defense is terrible. But they just didn't. The Dolphins have not looked good. I mean, I feel like they score 1 touchdown a game and that's it.
And it might not come till the third quarter.
They just can't. They can't move. They just can't put together a good drive.
And when Sanders they do missing kicks?
He missed a kick last week. When they do put together a good drive, they fumble it or they turn it over.
Well, I bet you're pretty excited to at least see Tua back out
and then fucking Mike McDaniel and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are laughing on the sidelines. Laughing. What are you fucking laughing about? You are 2-4. You have a very talented team, and you played the Colts, which was a very winnable game, and they're laughing on the sidelines. And then you want to know what Tim Boyle did? Ryan knows. It's 4th and 2 with 11 seconds left from the 30-yard line. So run an out pattern, a 5 and out, get the first down. There might be 7 seconds left. Potentially from the 25-yard line, you got 2 end zone shots. This idiot throws the ball just out of bounds into the stands. I hear after the game that he thought it was 3rd down.
That's not good.
Maybe they should check him for a concussion.
What is going on? Do they got to have earpieces?
Yeah.
That ending to that game, I don't know what happened on that last play. I'd rather you throw a pick 6.
Yeah.
Do intentional, whatever. Don't throw the ball out of bounds where you don't get another play.
Yeah.
That was just
awful. I've got Miami in this one. I like a -3. I think Tua coming back is going to kind of get the team a little bit juiced up.
Contain Kyler.
I think it'll get a crowd more into it.
Oh, Kyler can run the ball. I mean, my God, he's fast.
I think the fans will be a little bit amped up because of Tua, but I think they'll also remember that they're 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to 3
You're
and
still right there.
You get to 3 and 4, and you've got a very favorable schedule.
Yeah.
You never know.
I would still say that the AFC East is, I wouldn't say wide open, but it's, it still could be anybody's for the taking, really, in my opinion.
Buffalo's schedule gets harder as the season goes on, and ours gets a little easier. So,
yeah. Christian, who you got in this one?
I got Miami.
Yeah.
I think with a couple guys coming back healthy, I think it's going to get the crowd into it a little more.
Yeah.
And I really don't think Arizona's that good.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Miami's going to take it at home.
Hop into these comments here, Jake.
Boyle, told you.
Yeah.
Boyle.
Ramon
what was
says
that,
fucking
Ryan?
Boyle. Ex-Packer. God says Tua's brain is string cheese. He's still the best quarterback they have. And then Justin says, finally a week, Hill scores more than 2 points. Yeah.
I agree. I think
brutal.
they get Hill going.
Brutal.
I think the Dolphins get that, like, where they're throwing down the field, over the middle of the field,
50-yard
bit
passes
more
on the sidelines.
I feel like they're going to ease him back into the game. So the first couple drives they might run quite a bit,
those short throws.
But I think that by the second quarter, I think you might start seeing Tua sling it a little bit more. You got to.
Yeah. Let's see. Jets at the Patriots. So, I mean, everybody was probably watching Sunday Night Football. I was kind of expecting the Jets. I wouldn't say to dominate, but I was expecting them to win and control it, especially having Devontae and Rodgers back. I thought that was cool coming from a Packers fan. But this one, Jets at Patriots, this is a game the Jets should win. I mean, the Patriots are awful.
Awful.
The Patriots are god-awful. Jacksonville made them look bad, and Jacksonville's bad.
What have I told you about the Jets from day one of this year's podcast in the NFL season?
They're frauds.
The Jets will be the Jets are going to jet. I don't know what it is, but they're never good. They've got one of the best quarterbacks probably in the history of the NFL, and they're 2-5.
Mm.
So
stud wide receivers.
I told you that.
Really,
they
honestly,
just find
3
ways to
stud
lose.
wide receivers.
Yeah.
I think Alan Lazard's very underrated.
The New York Jets find ways to lose, like the Miami Dolphins. There's no difference.
I seen a year ago today, they were 4-3 with Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So that's not a good look.
Who the Jets? Oh no.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
But yeah,
personally, I don't think they should have fired Salah in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's a lot that goes into that we don't know about. I think there was a lot of like under the rug kind of things that him and the owner didn't agree on certain things. Read into it if you really want to. But I think the Jets get to 3-5. I think New England. I don't know if New England wins another game. To be honest with you,
I'm surprised they won the first game of the season.
They don't have Carolina on the schedule, right? So, I maybe if they got Vegas, maybe. I don't see them getting another win.
Jets going to make the playoff this year, Mitchell asks.
No.
I'm going to say no. I mean, I don't know. I've seen Rodgers do some crazy shit, but he is 40, going to be 41. I don't know. I'm going to say no.
They still play the Bills again.
Yeah.
And they play the Dolphins twice. I don't think I mean they'll probably split with the Dolphins, so there's 2 more losses.
Yeah. Gotch in here just hating on everybody tonight.
What do you say?
Rodgers is a fragile old man. That's why they're 2-5, soon to be 2-6.
Gotcha. So you're taking the Patriots. We'll mark that down. So we all got.
I got the Jets.
We got the Jets.
I don't know about the -7. I think they're. Yeah, I don't know about the -7, but I'm gonna take the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets. I think they're a lot better than they look on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Devontae might have a good week too.
Yeah, he only had 30 yards last week.
Yeah.
Falcons Bucs. This was lining up to be another great matchup, and it still could be a good game.
No,
But obviously, you lose Godwin for the season. That was just horrifying to see.
Mike Evans is out till week 12.
Yeah, he's out for a while. They're obviously really banged up right now. I don't know. They got some rookies that are going to step into that role.
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard, he's going to get bumped up there a little bit.
They're at home again.
Cade Otton.
Yeah.
Christian, I'll let you pick first. What do you think about this game?
I still am going to go with the Bucs. I think Sean Tucker, I think he's been a good coming into the team, and nobody really knew who he was. And obviously, if we can somehow stop Kirk Cousins from throwing for 500 yards, maybe get somewhere in the mid 200s, I think we can maybe win the game.
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard's going to have to step up. Jalen McMillan's going to have to step up. But I'm thankful we have a decent depth of wide receivers that, I know they're kind of guys you don't know, but if you watch them play week by week, they're not too bad. So
Yeah.
I think they can win the game.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, maybe not, but I think they can still win the game.
Godwin was having like a career year.
Yeah.
Career year.
I think it was 575 yards, and I can't remember how many receptions, but
yeah, I was enjoying watching it, and I just feel
ranked number
terrible
one in
that this
fantasy,
happened.
I think, going into last week.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that we have Baker. He's a guy that he'll throw the ball. He's not worried about throwing an interception. Obviously, I think he threw 3 the week before. I think he threw 2 last night.
Yeah.
He's a guy that doesn't get in his head mentally, I think, and I think he'll just keep slinging the ball. So
yeah, he lets that thing
Cade Otton's going to
fly.
step up. He already has kind of stepped up. He just Baker just kind of throws the ball up there, and he just kind of jumps and catches it.
Yeah.
He's very athletic, so I think he'll have to step up big time. He'll probably be the number 1 target, to be honest. I think.
Gotch, I agree with you. Bucky's a stud. They got to get him more involved. He's been helped me out big time in the fantasy football world with Pacheco going down on one of my teams. But as you bring that up, Gotch, I think, like you said with Tucker, Rashad White, in my opinion, is running back 3. I think he should get moved down.
I know it's crazy.
I think Bucky's the guy now. So elusive, can do so many things. I think for Tampa to really have a shot in this game, they're going to have to slow the game down. It's going to have to be a ground and pound game.
They're going to have to stop.
But they're not used to that.
The defense is pretty banged up, and they're going to have to stop passing.
Tampa's used to gunslinging.
Yeah. Well, I sometimes got to change it to win. I'm just saying, Atlanta. Kirk's a guy that throws picks. I'm just saying he has games like I picked Seattle last week. I told you there's times where Kirk doesn't always look that great. Bijan started to look great lately. Obviously, Drake London's a stud. They've gotten Pitts a little bit more involved. I'm going to take Atlanta in this game on the road. I would take the 2.5.
I would take the 2.5 if I was a betting person.
Yeah.
I would take 2.5.
I like every spread so far up to this game. Every team to cover this spread. I like Atlanta as well. I think with Tampa's injuries, I think that's going to play a role.
Yeah.
And I think by the fourth quarter, I just feel like Atlanta's going to be too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Defense is definitely going to have to adjust. We were all watching last night's game.
Yeah.
Everybody's catching balls on the Ravens, and there's not guys within 10 feet of them. So defense is really going to have to adjust.
Yeah, they're going to have to stop playing that soft zone. They must have been in fucking soft zone.
Yeah. Well, it's been for a few weeks now. The reason we're winning football games is because we're putting up 30, 40.
Yeah, you're all
Justice says Falcons 45, Bucks 3.
That doesn't surprise me.
We all got Atlanta in that game.
Yeah, I don't think
Christian,
we differed from a pick. Oh, did we differ
He's got the
there?
Bucks, yeah.
Okay,
I
we
took the
differed
Bucs.
there.
Like I said, if they lose and I didn't pick the Bucs, then I would be upset with myself.
Yeah.
If I was betting, I would pick probably Atlanta.
So this game got flexed into the
325.
Yeah, 325 slot. Washington probably going to be without Daniels, I would imagine.
I don't know though. They said I think I seen somewhere the team thinks that they're hopeful that he plays.
Well, if he plays, that's a big thing, but I'm not sure about his playing status in this game. And Washington, even when he went down, they dominated.
Yeah, but they were playing Carolina.
Well, I'm just saying they handled their business like you're supposed to do. A lot of teams can't always do that.
Their defense played really good.
Yeah, they did. I started them.
Surprised me.
Yeah, I started in fantasy. I loved it.
I think 12 million people probably started them playing Carolina.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. They played a lot better than I was expecting.
So with that being said, who you got in this game?
I'm going to take the Bears. I don't know. If Jaden Daniels plays, I think I would take Washington.
Yeah.
But the Bears are starting to come around. I know Gotch is happy that I just picked the Bears. I think they'll get the offense going. Maybe Keenan Allen can score me some fantasy points.
Did last week and the other
Because
week in
I
London.
have Chris Godwin and
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed, so my season's over, and I'm 1-6. So
I just don't know how you pick this game yet without knowing the status of the Redskins quarterback.
Commanders.
Fuck, Commanders.
Bears are winning no matter who plays quarterback. Bears will keep Washington under 20. Mitchell Lucas is offering us a pizza. Yeah, we'll take a pizza.
Come
Mitch.
bring us a pizza.
Come bring us a pizza.
Look, obviously I'm going to take the Bears if he doesn't play.
Sorry about that. Where are we at here? Oh, we're at
But-
the Bears game. All right.
But if Daniels plays, I'm taking the Redskins at home. I think this could be a very special season for the Commanders.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, I
They're
agree
good.
with you.
And they're at home. That they haven't had many great years, so the fans are going to be hyped and amped up. It's going to be a very highly anticipated game for them. But man, that's going to suck if he don't play.
I think he's going to play. I mean, they moved this game, and it's against the Bears, number 1 and 2 picks. I think he somehow mans it up and plays.
Yeah, I bet he does.
I think he
yeah.
plays. If they're game time decisions, they play.
Yeah,
Unless they're Debo, they come out there. Everybody says he's playing, and he suddenly has pneumonia.
that wasn't
Yeah, hopefully he gets well quick. I'm going to take Chicago in this game. I'm not really sure of Jaden Daniels' status yet, as is nobody really.
Now, does that change if he plays?
No, I'm still taking the Bears. I'm not going to waver from my pick here.
Well, I'm taking the Commanders.
I'm sure Gotch is going to love that I picked the Bears. But the Bears are playing great football.
They're playing great.
They're playing really good football. Washington's playing good football. But if Daniels is playing kind of banged up, I like the Bears more than I like Washington, even though it's in Washington. So I'm going to take the Bears here. And I think I'd even take the 2.5.
Wow, Jake, that's fucked up. Durant says the Bears finish 8. What did he say?
He said
8-9?
Bears finish 8-9, rough second half of the season.
He's right. He's right.
It's possible.
We'll move on to the next game, the Packers at the Jags. Me and Jake were talking about this. Kind of a trap game, I think, for the Packers, like Jake had said. Packers favored by 4.5. Before I really dive into this, I just want to say it's very nice that we finally have a kicker.
Oh, he makes one kick.
I don't give a shit.
He makes
None
one
of
kick.
the other kickers we've had
I
over
think
the
San
past year and a
Francisco-
half make
I think
that
San
kick.
Francisco would agree with you.
Yeah, he sucks. I don't know.
The Bears
anybody
are
would pick him
favored
up.
by 2.5. Oh,
Yeah.
no, Atlanta's favored by 2.
By 2.5 there,
the
Jake.
Bears?
I got.
Shit.
But Jacksonville, pretty good win against New England. I mean, that's a game you're supposed to win.
Yeah, I mean,
Green
I don't know about
Bay-
a pretty good win.
Green Bay, their defense played phenomenal in a way. I mean, Mixon ran all over him. I'll give him that. But C.J. Stroud had 86 yards passing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pressured all the time. They didn't even bring the blitz.
So how
that
do they
often.
almost win that game then?
3 turnovers by Green Bay, and we
That'll
didn't
happen.
force any.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
The thing with Love is kind of like Baker. He ain't afraid to throw it nowhere. He ain't afraid to throw it nowhere. The guy's got all the talent in the world, in my opinion. I think Green Bay is going to go down there. I think they're going to be able to beat Jacksonville. Jacksonville has, like, in almost every defensive category, they're 29th or 30th. I mean, they're bad.
Yeah.
Do they
They're
route
bad
them?
on defense.
Do they route them?
I don't want to say route, but I think Packers are going to win this game by double digits. You look at the run game. I think Jacobs is going to have a good day. I think even Emmanuel Wilson can come in there and give you some things. I think Christian Watson, he's only got 9 targets the whole year, 2 tutties. I think he's going to have a 3rd touchdown this game because I think they're going to go deep to him and he's going to get a touchdown. Romeo Dobbs has looked phenomenal since he's came back. The guy's got strong-ass hands. Jaden Reed can do whatever the hell he wants basically
He's
out
very
there.
athletic.
Tucker
very
Kraft,
athletic.
in my opinion, is a poor man's George Kittle.
Absolutely.
And he's a good poor man's George
Yeah.
Kittle because he's really good.
The numbers he's put up in fantasy football are unbelievable.
Yeah. And, I mean, the Packers' defense is really impressed me this year. I think they're going to go down Jacksonville. I think they're going to dominate.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think I told you 3 or 4 years ago.
Fuck the
You know how I
Packers.
feel about Jordan Love.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! What
I
did
think
do?
if Jordan Love's on the football field, the team he's on has the better end. I'm a big Jordan Love fan.
Yeah.
I think he's good.
I'm
You
gonna.
got the Packers?
Packers by 10.
I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm saying this is a game that gets Jacksonville's season somewhat back in the right direction. I just think they're too talented, and I know I've been on the Jacksonville kind of bandwagon this year, and they've fucking let me down.
They do have a lot of talent, though.
They do have a lot of
Yeah.
talent, and I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a great quarterback, and I just think this is a game
Yeah.
that they need.
Upset of the
They
week for
need.
you.
It would be the upset of the week. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's probably going to come back and bite me in the ass.
And I will give credit to Jacksonville on this. they hit the lottery by drafting Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
He is a stud.
He's
I
really
bet Bears
good.
fans wish they took him at 9 instead of Rome. I know it's early, but I'm just saying he looks like a stud out there. I see a lot of people click on it, Jake. I see a lot of people calling this a trap game for the Packers. I think Reed goes for 101 tud, and you win by 17. Yeah, it's very possible, Gotch. I do think we're a much better team, a better coach team. We'll see what shakes out on Sunday. I'm excited to watch it.
Reed is also on Gotch's fantasy team, so I think that's a
Yeah.
little biased pick.
Let's see. Next up, Colts, Texans.
I think this is for the
Um,
first place in the AFC South.
yeah. Houston favored by 6. I'm gonna take Houston in this game.
Yeah.
I do think it's gonna be close.
I
mean,
don't.
it's not gonna.
I don't. The Colts
I don't
are
think it's going
terrible.
to be close.
The Colts are terrible.
I
Well,
think the
Richardson
Colts-
played the first game and it was close.
I think the Colts might be the worst
Oh,
4-3
score.
team in the NFL.
I-
Joe Flacco
you-
played, what,
okay.
2 weeks?
Should have
Nobody-
kept playing him.
Nobody watched, obviously, but me watched the Colts and Dolphins. The Dolphins should have beaten the Indianapolis Colts.
They were up 10-0.
That was like a, what, 10 to 13 game
It
or
was
something?
a 16-10 game.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins outplayed the Colts in a lot of categories and somehow find a way to lose, which they do every week. But I don't think the Colts are good, and I think Houston routes them. I
yeah,
really
Mitch.
think Houston routes
Richardson
them.
looks bad. I think their GM might get fired at the end of the year. He kind of bet the house on Richardson, and don't get me wrong, he's looked really good at times, but they looked way better as a team with Flacco out there. I think they kind of had some momentum going. They probably should have left him out there.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Taylor comes back this week. I think that's going to help them out a lot. But I just think Houston, Joe Mixon's running all over the place, and Indianapolis pretty much has a bad run defense. I think Joe Mixon's going to have a good game.
I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, guys. I'm not gonna lie. He missed
Flacco?
no.
Oh, I don't think Richardson's good either.
He missed a lot of throws. He overthrew guys, and when he takes off running, he does slide, which that's great. But he just didn't seem to be like he didn't have that like another step. Like it just seemed like he'd go down after 4 when he could maybe get 7.
Yeah.
That's probably because he got his head knocked off.
I
a few
know,
weeks ago.
but
Tua should try that.
no, Tua should not run the. Listen, if there's a chance for Tua to run, he needs to just fall and start over.
Start Flacco. I agree, Mitch. Richardson is a worse Justin Fields. That might be accurate. At least Fields has his team.
So I think we all got the Texans. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
we all got
there's
the
a lot.
Texans in this one.
Look, there's a lot of bullshit games this week. I'm not gonna be lying to you. There's a lot of bullshit games.
Well, here we go again. Saints Chargers.
This could be the worst.
Spencer Rattler against
Okay.
Justin Herbert. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. I don't know how I feel about the -7. I'm not that confident in the Chargers, but I think they're a more competent team than New Orleans. And I thought New Orleans, they got off that 2-0 start. I thought it was phenomenal. Quick thing on the Saints, they just upped Alvin Kamara another 2 years, $24.5 million. But I got the Chargers in this one. I just think their defense, I do think they're a better coach team.
Yeah, I do.
think
I agree.
Harbaugh does a great job. I think that's going to continue this week. I think they get the job done.
Yeah, he's a great coach, and I think they.
Tua should be sidelined in a wheelchair, he says.
Oh,
Who you got?
I think I'm going to go with the Saints. I
Really?
know it's an
Rattler?
It's an NFC South team. I really don't see them dropping 6 in a row. I don't think the
oh,
Chargers,
that is right. Starting 2-0
I
and
don't
dropping
think-
6 in a row.
I don't think the Chargers are a good football team.
I
at
don't
all.
think they are either.
I think their defense has saved them to have those 3 wins.
Yeah.
Their
I
offense,
think,
their offense is pathetic.
I
and
think they're
putrid.
going to be in a lot of 12 to 9 games. I mean, I don't think. I mean,
They're
what was the
just dog
final?
fights.
What was the final last night against the
20-15.
Yeah, and J.K. Dobbins, he's pretty good, but I mean, I just
Or
don't.
something like that.
I don't see the team. I just don't see them being good. The team's not good.
I like the
Justin
Chargers.
Herbert, if he was on any other team, he might be the 3rd string quarterback. I mean, he started off his career well, but you don't really hear about him anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
at
he's
all.
he's
was
on a
huge,
lot of
yeah.
waivers in fantasy
Yeah.
football, which is crazy.
Well, I just also think that's because the team has set him up to fail.
There's another one, Gosh's fantasy team.
Yeah. Anybody got Chaz on his fantasy team's the greatest player of all time.
I think the Chargers organization has set Herbert up to fail.
Yeah.
So far this year.
I don't think Spencer Rattler is that bad. Obviously, he's new to the league. A lot of rookies have done good. A lot have done bad. Bub Memes, he stepped up big for the Saints. He beat the heck out of us. I don't know. I think Alvin Kamara could have a big game.
Yeah.
The Chargers defense is good though. They're going to have to stop him.
I'm taking the Chargers. I think so.
Yeah, I'm
It's
taking
2-1.
the Chargers.
Chargers.
Bills at Seattle. This is going to be a
Now
good game.
this is probably the second best game of the week besides the Bears and the Commanders.
Yeah, this is a really good game. I even think Philadelphia and Cincinnati.
I think
might be a good
Miami and
game.
Arizona is going to be a good game.
Yeah. But while we're on this game, Seattle at home, coming off a good win after dropping 3 straight. The Bills dominated the Titans,
Oh, that's hard.
which is pretty standard as we've gone into this year so far.
Not ask the Dolphins that 2 years in a row.
Somebody's got to be that guy. I'm going to take Buffalo to beat Seattle. I really like Josh Allen has yet to throw a pick this year. People aren't really talking about him in the MVP conversation, but I think he deserves to be in that conversation along with Goff.
He's had a few really low yard games, though, hasn't he? Like in the
Who?
hundreds.
Josh?
Josh Allen.
Look, Buffalo's 5-2, but man, they're a 5-2 that if you look at their 2 losses too, they're the good teams and they're on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, this is on the road in one
They
of
kind of got handled in one of them.
in one of the hardest places to play in the NFL.
So you taking Seattle?
I'm taking Seattle. Buffalo does not play good on the road. And when things don't go their way, they seem to not go their way a lot. They got smoked in. Where'd they get smoked? They got killed in Buffalo.
Baltimore.
Or no, Baltimore. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And even in Houston, I think it was 20-0 Houston until Buffalo made a comeback.
Yeah, they tied it. They tied it back up.
So I just like Seattle at home. This could be a very good game. I like Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
I think I'm taking Seattle too.
Cooper and Allen duo is fire. I don't
Fuck the
know.
Bills.
Give me Keon Coleman.
The Seahawks running backs are going to have to step up with DK being out,
Yeah.
but I still think they have some pretty solid guys.
Yeah, get Smith and the jig with the ball out there. Give me some
Yeah.
fucking fantasy
Yeah,
points for once.
He's quick.
Yeah.
He can move.
He's got like the 3rd most targets in the league, but he has no points to
I
show
know,
for
it's
it.
crazy.
Well, this could be another good game.
Yeah. Eagles at Bengals. I got the Bengals in this one. I'd take the 2.5.
Here we
They're
go. Here we
starting
go.
to heat
Look
up
at
a
the
little bit,
Bengals.
kind of like we had talked about. Jake had talked about it. Philly looked pretty good, but they were playing the Giants. I knew Barkley was going to have almost the game of his life going back to that stadium against his old team.
Mm-hmm.
What I do kind of think this is going to be a high-scoring game because I
Might
don't
be.
think Philadelphia has a very good defense, and I don't think Cincinnati has a good defense either. But I like
But
Joe Burrow.
Philadelphia has not looked like Philadelphia.
No, I know. I get all that, but I'm taking Joe Burrow in the Bengals. Jake?
I agree. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals at home to win a big game. They've lost a couple of big games at home this year. The Bengals have lost a couple of big games, period, this year that they could have won.
Super close.
The Commanders game comes to mind. You score 30-plus
Patriots,
points at
The
home.
Chiefs game.
Chiefs. They've been in all these games, and we knew that the Bengals were talented. You don't want to play them. And now they're at home, and it just seems to be that they're trending in the right direction. And here you are. They're going to be. I think they're going to be 4-4.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to be 4-4. I think the Eagles are going to drop to 4-3.
I just think the Eagles are. I just think they're falling apart. I just think they're kind of floating. They played who last
the
week?
Giants.
The Giants. Giants are kind of bad, to be real.
They're not good. They're not good.
I just don't think the Eagles are who we.
Pretty standard from New York teams, honestly.
The Eagles are not who we thought they were. You know what I mean? Like they're not who they used to be.
Christian?
I think the Bengals will win the game. I think Joe Burrow and
The
Jamar
puck's
Chase.
offsides.
I think they've had a couple big weeks in a row,
Goal
Mhm.
shouldn't
or a
count.
couple big weeks in period. I don't like Philadelphia anything. I don't like the 76ers. I don't like the
Phillies.
Eagles. I don't like the Phillies. The only good thing from Philly is a cheesesteak. That's my opinion. I think the Bengals will go out there. I don't know if they'll win huge, but I think it'll probably be like a 27-24 game, and Jalen Hurts will probably get sacked about 10 times.
Yeah.
I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan. I'm not.
I don't know. Look, I don't know. Has he gotten worse? Like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on there in Philly.
Barkley 4 tuds, Glenn Ruff says. And Phillip says that Philly is fluttering. Yeah, they are.
Barkley could score 4
agree.
touchdowns. That has nothing to do with
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. He's handing the ball.
They do have a hell of a lot of talent, though. In that
They
offense.
do. Oh, they have a lot of talent.
The Eagles.
Yeah, well, it's just I don't understand why it's not getting put together. It kind of reminds me of the Dolphins. Like, why are so much talent you can't score?
Coaching.
The
Coaching?
coach is
And
yelling
down to
at the
coaching.
coach is yelling at fans,
After they
Coach is
won by
yelling at
3.
fans, and
Yeah.
you got another coach laughing on the
which
sidelines.
is scary because they have Devontae Smith and they have AJ Brown. They have a really good
Dallas
tight
Goddard,
end.
Barkley,
Their O line, don't they have a couple like all pro O
Yeah.
linemen? I mean, I
few
don't know.
future Hall of Famers.
I just, my Bucs went out there and beat them, and I don't know. When you line them up, I think the Eagles are probably better, but they're just not totally showing
Barkley
it.
going to run all
Lucas
over
says
them.
Barkley's going to run all over him. Yeah,
It's
Probably.
very
he
possible.
probably will. They
It's
do
very
have kind of a
possible.
shit defense.
Very possible.
Up next, we got the Carolina Panthers, who honestly probably the best team in the league. Jake, what do you
I
think?
think
You think the Carolina Panthers
I
best team
think
in the
we will
league?
spend the least amount of time on this game.
I'm taking Denver.
I mean, Denver's 4-3.
No, Denver looks pretty good.
I
Bo
think
Nix is
Denver's an
decent.
underrated 4-3. I mean, I think they get to 5-3 here. I think they end up routing Carolina after 2 or 3 quarters. Might be close for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Denver's problem is they can't score that much. But I mean, here we are going to be talking about Denver next week at 5-3. I mean, coaching.
Yeah, I didn't
Coaching
expect that.
matters.
I didn't expect that.
We know who their coach is,
we
right?
lost to the Broncos.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that.
Mitch says easy choice. Yeah, I agree. Lucas calling for an upset. Don't follow any of Lucas's betting advice. He'll never win. But yeah, I got Denver in this one. I like
Yeah,
Sean
I got
Payton,
Denver.
and just Carolina's just a shit team.
I think Bryce Young will be in by halftime.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
why.
I don't know if you saw this earlier today, but Andy Dalton and his
Got in a
family got in a
car
car
accident,
accident, so I don't really know what the whole situation is
That's
there.
awful.
Hopefully, they're all doing
It
well.
didn't, it didn't seem like it was very serious. It
Yeah.
sounded like a fender bender.
I got you. Well, at least they're all
good.
doing well.
Yeah.
Well, I got Denver in that one. Kansas City has, in my opinion,
Oh, Christ.
just a god awful 6-0. If Mahomes does not look good, I'm sorry. The Mahomes lovers out there, he's not look good.
TJ, Uncle Bones.
He's almost leading the league in interceptions, isn't he? I mean, it's pretty
Yeah, he's
close.
tied with Love.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
I'm just gonna tell you what, you got to beat them. Okay, they're 6-0. They can't be beat. I don't understand it.
Well,
They're like the fucking Patriots.
you
now.
get a lot of calls.
They
Tom
are
used to
like
get a
the
lot of calls.
Patriots now, and we just got to live with it. It's unfortunate. All of our teams are playing for that's in this chat. All of our teams are playing for a participation trophy. So get over it. I'm already over it. I'm just telling you that we aren't. None of these teams are. Kansas City might lose 1 or 2, maybe 3 games max. They'll have the 1 seed, and you'll have to go through Kansas City, and it just won't happen.
And they're playing Vegas, and Vegas is bad.
This could be the worst game of the week.
I mean, this
They
10-point
just lost
spread.
Adams. Adams
Yeah.
didn't want to play for him the whole year.
Yeah.
They just signed Desmond Ritter.
What's this spread?
Because Aiden O'Connell's hurt. So their second string quarterback's hurt.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers, I don't think he played last week, so he's not going to be 100%.
Zamir White's been awful. I thought he was going to
Yeah.
be decent in fantasy this
I
I
week.
mean, this
Been
could be
awful.
like upset of the year.
Max Crosby's still there, but
That doesn't matter.
Bears are winning the Super Bowl within the next 5 years. We'll see about that. Between you and this, Chad, there's like 10 teams, unfortunately. You're right. Yeah, it's true. It's all about the Chiefs. We'll all sit there and watch it like we do every year.
Well, it's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. We lived through the Brady era. We'll get through this.
I want to see Chiefs fans in a picture, like from a Chiefs jersey back in like 2010, because there's not many of them. Like Uncle Bones.
So we all got
Uncle
Kansas.
my Uncle
Uncle
Bones
Bones is a
is the
bandwagon.
biggest bandwagon I've ever
Was a
been.
Broncos fan my whole life until
They even
Mahomes
won
came
a
in the league.
Super Bowl in
Yeah.
the last 10 years, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
15
And he
with
still said that's not good enough.
Peyton. Yeah,
What the
I think
shit?
we all got Kansas City.
Yeah, in a route.
Really
I
quick,
can see him starting off slow and then just
Lucas,
dominating in the
Tim
second
Brody,
half.
the GOAT. Lucas, you need to go back to school, work on your spelling, buddy. That is bad. That is pretty bad, buddy. Sunday Night Football, Dallas at Niners.
Good game.
Who would have thought Dallas on Sunday Night Football? I mean, every week Dallas is playing a prime
Well,
time
America's
game.
team.
Well, they're a shit team.
America's team.
And they're playing San Francisco, who also looks bad. I mean, they're down Debo. You don't know the timetable
Ayuk.
there with pneumonia, fluid in the lungs. Ayuk's done for the year. McCaffrey ain't playing. Your healthiest wide receiver is Ricky Parsons.
Jawan Jennings.
Yeah.
How do the Cowboys not win this game with how much talent they have?
If you would have told me at the beginning of the year these teams would be combined 6 and 7, I probably would have laughed. I mean, they're just always powerhouses until it gets to the playoffs, and then they just can't make it.
Well, Niners make it. They just
the
don't
Niners
finish.
make it. They just can't win. I don't know. Dallas obviously has a lot of talent, but it's never been all the way there. Brock Purdy's. Both quarterbacks been throwing a lot of interceptions.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not really a Cowboys guy. I kind of think the America's team gets taken out of. I can't even think of the
Blown
word.
out of
They're not
proportion.
Blown out of
America's team anymore.
proportion.
It's Kansas City.
I'm going to take, you know what? I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys. I think that they play better on the road.
Coming off a bye.
They play better on the road. For some reason, they can't play in Jerry World. I don't get it. Okay, they just can't.
Lucas thinks they're cursed. He just said in the comments.
They might be. Well, the Dallas Cowboys are definitely cursed when they play good teams in Jerry World. That is a fact. Cole knows it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Cowboys on the road. There's going to be a lot of Cowboy fans in San Francisco. And I just think with San Francisco having half their team injured, I just think the Cowboys will be too much. I think the Niners defense and the home crowd and just, being at home, I think that's going to keep them in the game for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dallas will be too much. As long as Dallas doesn't turn the ball over.
Dallas can't run the ball. They can't run the ball.
Right now on paper, with who's injured for San Francisco, Dallas is the better team, and it's not close.
Well, when you take a look at it, so you got Dallas.
I got Dallas.
When you take a look at it, almost every team that's played Dallas has scored a shit ton of points. Mm-hmm. Running backs have went off. Jordan Mason has been a phenomenal running back this year in McCaffrey's absence. I think he's going to have a great game. I think he's going to go for 110 yards plus, 2 touchdowns. And if Brock Purdy can just not make dumbass throws, I think they win this game against Dallas.
Normally he doesn't.
They have a better defense than Dallas.
The last few weeks.
They have a shit kick game, though. I wouldn't trust the kick game.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's been kind of screwing up
these last couple of weeks. 2022 Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I'm going to take San Francisco on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm taking San Francisco, too. I think Kittle could go for probably 2 touchdowns.
I got Coke.
Yeah, he agrees with you, Jay.
I got Cowgirls. I agree.
I always expect the Cowboys to do something dumb.
Yeah.
I always expect them to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 49ers win at home.
And finally, Monday Night Football. Thank God we only have one game this week on Monday night. New York Giants at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 6.5. Before we get into it, though, how about Russell Wilson? I mean, he looked pretty damn good in that Sunday night game.
Impressive.
Slow start, but after that, he really got into it and looked phenomenal. The team looked to actually.
I don't think
they loved him.
Can you go back to JF1?
No.
After that performance?
I think it was very risky to start him.
But that's why Tomlin's the guy he is.
After starting 4-2, I think it was very risky.
Mike Tomlin just the fucking Steelers 5-2, and I don't even think they're that good. You know what I mean? Like
pretty good defense.
Their offense looked a lot better this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if this continues, they're good. Mm-hmm. But before this week, their offense hadn't looked that good. They were winning games because they're very well coached and they're very a fundamental solid team. They play fundamental football.
They don't really have a powerhouse player either.
TJ Watt.
Well, on defense, yeah, but on offense, I think it's just a lot.
5-2, like when the fuck can I get? When can the Dolphins be 5-2? And
speaking about Tomlin and the Dolphins, supposedly the Dolphins were going to hire Tomlin in 2007, but they
they wanted Nick fucking Saban,
then
he went to Bama.
Where did you see that at?
The Dolphins almost do everything.
I think I was watching that.
The Miami Dolphins almost do everything, but you know what they don't do? They don't win.
Well, they didn't hire Tomlin. You know why they didn't hire him? This is all report. They said he was too hip hop.
Oh yeah, too hip hop. Yeah, well, you know what? I'd like to go down to Stephen Ross's and Chris Greer's office and have a little chat with them. 3 years in a row.
And Mike McDaniel's not hip hop.
3 winning seasons in a row.
Mike McDaniel's, he looks like
he's the craziest coach in the NFL.
0 playoff wins. Three winning seasons in a row. 0 playoff wins.
Mike Tomlin gets the job done. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. Yeah, that's true. George Pickens made some great plays Sunday night. He's a good wide receiver. He's got all the talent in the world.
Yeah, that helps.
I would hammer Pittsburgh.
I think this is going to be a little bit closer than y'all think. Because
do you?
I agree. It's Monday Night Football.
It's Monday Night Football, and I just don't. I don't know about. I got to see it again from Russ. Okay, I got to see it again.
He's doing it against a team where he could probably show it.
And that's the night he won't.
How about Pittsburgh getting both New York teams back-to-back weeks on primetime?
Yeah,
I like Pittsburgh to win the game, but I just think it's going to be a little bit closer than you think. Here I go again with the fucking Giants. I must have a soft spot for them. It seems every week I'm like, here come the Giants, and then the Giants lose. I root for a lot of teams that lose.
What do you think?
I honestly am surprised the Giants have 2 wins. I don't think they're very good. I do think it could be a close game. The Steelers, like I said, I don't think they're a powerhouse offense.
I don't either.
But they got a lot of good guys that throw it together.
I don't see you, buddy. You should honk at me or do something. I don't see you.
Some would say a great Monday night game. Monday night football.
I agree.
I'm just happy we have
There's
football.
a little the game's got a little bit better, but man, there's still a lot of bad games in this week's slates of games, you guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of average teams.
There's a few good games and then a lot of really bad games.
Yeah.
Well, I remember me saying this. I thought the league was going to be very top heavy, and then it was going to fall off. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing.
I don't know. The NFC North is loaded.
4-2.
But the NFC is significantly better than the AFC this year. In
I
my
agree.
Opinion. But Christian, we thank you for having coming on tonight. You got anything to add before we head out?
No, I just hope the Bucs can finish 500 to this point. That's about it.
Well, they can't. It's impossible now. A 17-game season, but
oh yeah. Well, over 500.
yeah, 9-8.
It's going to be tough.
Well, you know what? About what you said, you've got KC, Buffalo, Ravens in the AFC, and in the NFC, you got the Lions,
The
Vikings,
the Packers,
Packers,
and the Bears. All the best.
Commanders,
record.
Bears,
Commanders.
Falcons. But here's my thing: is I think that these three ceilings are higher than all of these besides the Lions. Probably. I think on a field.
I don't think Kansas City is a better football team than the Packers.
If you would take the Packers over Kansas City,
I would.
In Arrowhead, you're high.
Well, Jake, when we're not going to play in the playoffs in Arrowhead.
I'm just telling you.
That's not possible.
I'm just telling you, it's a homer statement. It's a very homer statement to say you take the Packers over the Chiefs.
You're going to sit there and tell me that you think the Chiefs are a more talented team than the Packers.
I think the Packers
have more, quarterback, I do.
Think they have more options.
Overall, talent-wise.
But that doesn't
matter.
That doesn't matter in the NFL. The one position matters. And I think that shows you when he's going to win his 3rd Super Bowl in a row, and we haven't seen this since
ever, I don't think.
Did Brady and the Patriots do it? I'm just telling you.
Cole's a homer.
Who said that?
Lucas. You're a homer. You talking all that stuff about CJ Stroud, and you look like shit this week. So I don't want to hear it about me being a homer.
Hey, I
am, but
I got the Jacksonville Jaguars upsetting the Green Bay Packers. I don't know why. I just feel it's a trap game.
I even picked your Dolphins, Jake.
They will lose. I'm just picking the Dolphins because I think that Tua's coming back, and the fans are going to be amped up, and the Dolphins will lose.
Well, I don't really have anything else to add. You guys got anything to add?
No. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We look forward to next week doing the Week 9. Detroit wins it all. I could see Detroit winning it.
I agree.
They look phenomenal.
I think it's going to be Detroit and Kansas City.
As long as Dan Campbell doesn't do like 3 4th and 9s.
Yeah, Dan Campbell can't go for it all the time in the playoffs. But I think that right now my Super Bowl pick would be Detroit and Kansas City.
Yeah, I like that pick. But next week we'll have another guest on. Yep. We don't know who that's going to be, but we thank everybody for coming on tonight. We had a good time, and we'll continue doing this. So thanks, everybody. Have a good week.